After everything we saw at Miller Ranch last time, I know follow-up is in order.
Yeah, there's clearly something going on there.
We've measured magnetic anomalies, radio frequency anomalies. We've even seen UAPs on this exact location.
This is crazy. Everything looks just fine.
What is that?
Those are underground pictures.
What is that?
And it's only over the bridge.
The team is back at Miller Ranch, buzzing with excitement. They've been here before, but many mysteries remain unsolved. Southern Colorado's Miller Ranch still holds secrets they need to uncover. Could this place be connected to the rumored dimensional portal at the mysterious bridge? Join us to uncover the truth hidden at the Miller Ranch. Back to the Colorado Ranch. Strange things seen during past visits to the ranch have led to this new investigation. Pete Kelsey, an expert in studying mysterious events, joins the team with advanced drone and LiDAR technology, tools he used at Skinwalker Ranch. Andy and Paul hope that Pete's skills and equipment will uncover new details about the puzzling bridge at Miller Ranch and its possible links to the famous triangle at Skinwalker Ranch. At the heart of this investigation is what the team calls the Triangle of Miller Ranch. In this area, they've recorded unusual magnetic and radio frequency signals and seen unidentified flying objects. These oddities are similar to those found at Skinwalker's Triangle, making the team even more determined to explore further. Today's mission involves Pete flying a photogrammetry drone over the Miller Ranch Bridge. This method, which helped reveal a mysterious spire-like structure at Skinwalker Ranch, captures thousands of high-resolution photos to create a detailed 3D map of the area. This level of detail is essential to spot things that can't be seen with the naked eye. The main goal of this photogrammetry survey is to check if there might be a hidden gateway over the bridge. As Travis suspects, the team sets up a spectrum analyzer to watch for any changes in the environment as Pete's drone takes off. At first, the readings show normal background noise in the radio spectrum, especially around the 1.6 gigahertz range. With the drone's path set, the team keeps an eye out for any strange activity in the radio spectrum, particularly as the drone approaches the bridge. They focus on frequencies from 1.6 to 1.8 gigahertz, looking for any unusual changes or spikes that might suggest something odd. But this wasn't the most surprising part. As the drone flies directly over the bridge, the team notices a significant spike in energy at 1.695 gigahertz. This spike happens exactly as the drone crosses the bridge, marking the second time they've seen such an event. The repeated connection between the drone's flight and these energy spikes in this specific spot adds to the mystery and raises more questions about what could be hidden under the surface at Miller Ranch. The team, all gathered around the monitors, focused hard on the bridge. The data clearly pointed to this structure as the source of the oddities. As the mission ended with a smooth landing, they felt a mix of satisfaction and curiosity. The real work was just beginning as they started to dig into the data collected by the photogrammetry. Pete, eager to see what was hidden, showed the results of the photogrammetry. The images were clear, showing the bridge in detail from the drone's aerial views. The tool had mapped not just the visible spectrum, but also created a 3D model of the area. But as they looked closer at the data, oddities appeared. These indicated underground structures or disturbances directly under the bridge, places where no normal readings should be. The team compared the photogrammetry data with other sensors like LiDAR and a standard RGB camera. Both sets of data confirmed these underground anomalies, making them question their understanding of photogrammetry. They then talked about similar oddities they had found at other places, like Skinwalker Ranch, where the same drone, camera, and software were used. These past experiences in different settings showed similarly puzzling results, reminding the team of the strange readings they had encountered before. Earlier visits to the bridge had seen unexplained aerial phenomena and tragic accidents, adding a chilling mystery to the data now in front of them. It seemed the bridge might be more than just a simple structure. It could be a focal point for unexplained events, maybe even acting as a gateway to things yet to be understood. Pete explained how the photogrammetry tool worked, capturing images at specific points, calculating angles, and using GPS for precise location marking. However, the data anomalies suggested something was messing with the drone's perception of its location, possibly affecting the GPS accuracy. The team wondered about the nature of these anomalies, asking if they were seeing a time distortion or a disruption in space and time measurements? These questions lingered as the mission ended, leaving the team with more questions than answers. Determined to return and explore further, they aimed to uncover the truth hidden under this mysterious bridge. The initial data had set the stage for a deeper investigation, one that might challenge their understanding of reality and require all their expertise. Next, the team faced new surprises at Mount Wilson Ranch. Following Bigelow's trail, Andy and Paul are on a mission at Mount Wilson Ranch. This place used to belong to Robert Bigelow, an aerospace tycoon who also owned Skinwalker Ranch. There's a lot of talk about how Bigelow and his team were searching for something hidden beneath the lower meadow of the ranch. They believed that they were digging for an alien craft rumored to be buried there. People say this meadow gives off a unique signal, suggesting there's more to it than just dirt and rocks. The team decided to use an old video projector left behind by Bigelow to project light patterns onto a nearby cabin. They hoped this might trigger any hidden mechanisms of the suspected alien craft, supposedly buried 200 feet underground. They wanted to see if the old equipment could still play a crucial role in making something happen below. To get ready for the night, they brought advanced technology, including 2 types of thermal cameras at the front of the house, designed to spot any strange heat signatures. They also set up devices they called UFO DAPs, AI-powered tools pointed at the sky to catch any unusual flying objects. They had a spectrum analyzer too, which would help them understand the electromagnetic waves in the area. This was important to tell the difference between regular signals, like from satellites, and anything odd that might hint at something extraordinary. As the sun went down, the team's excitement grew. They were about to start a big experiment. Once everything was ready, Jeff turned on the projector and Andy activated the spectrum analyzer to get a baseline reading of the frequencies. As soon as the projector was on, the equipment picked up a broad response across many frequencies, showing an interesting overlap with the light from the projector. The team noticed strange signals at very low frequencies that can travel long distances through solid ground. Understanding how important this might be, they decided to use a tone generator to copy these frequencies, hoping to communicate with whatever was buried underneath. Paul felt the vibrations under his feet, hinting at a powerful low-frequency wave spreading out for miles. He and Andy watched the spectrum analyzer, where the display showed a growing pattern of activity. The signals were becoming stronger, like a blazing fire, showing a significant rise in energy. The most notable frequency was at 68 Hz, suggesting this specific low-frequency sound could be the key to reaching out to the buried object. By broadcasting a sound at this frequency, they hoped to start a kind of dialogue or trigger a reaction from the hidden presence. Combining old-school methods with modern tech created a bridge across time and space, possibly letting them connect with the unknown lying deep within Mount Wilson Ranch. They decided to turn off the signal to see if the anomaly continued. The strange readings started right after they activated the 68 Hz and began to fade when they stopped. The sound seemed to be reacting with something out there, possibly communicating. It felt like they were reaching something deep below, like a manta ray responding to vibrations from their speaker. Andy explained that they were sending back the same frequency they picked up, and they saw a real reaction in the form of radio energy. The anomaly, deep underground, seemed to be interacting with their equipment. Andy thought this was what Bigelow had been looking for when he explored Mount Wilson. He wondered if they were in contact with a highly conductive mass, perhaps the rumored buried spacecraft. The lower meadow at Mount Wilson, known for its frequent unexplained phenomena, was proving to be a critical area for their investigation. This place was incredibly active. No wonder Bigelow had been so obsessed with it, Andy concluded. Back in the control room, the team reviewed their findings. They had started an experiment with old projectors from Bigelow's time, trying to replicate the original tests on the ranch. By projecting the 68 Hz frequency, they noticed a significant change in the RF spectrum, an increase that seemed almost responsive. Paul noted that it was as if there was still an ongoing experiment, something left active. They were sending something out and getting a definite response, like a dialogue with the unknown. The possibility of uncovering significant findings excited them. Despite not attracting attention like black SUVs or helicopters, which one might expect at a high-interest site, the mystery deepened. Bigelow had always known there was something significant buried there. They pondered what he knew and why he left it untouched. The session raised more questions about Mount Wilson. They speculated whether this could be a secret government operation or a crash site. The abrupt abandonment of the property only added to their intrigue. As they planned their next steps, the evidence was compelling yet incomplete. Andy was determined to review the data repeatedly until they made sense of it. The anomalies at Mount Wilson suggested their investigation was far from over. There was something big out there, and it was possibly stranger than any known phenomenon. However, this was not the only concern. They needed to keep digging, eager to uncover what lay hidden beneath Mount Wilson's enigmatic surface. Their journey continued to Rock Art Ranch, with even more revelations ahead in the timeless chronicles of Rock Art Ranch. Eric and Paul are excited to visit Rock Art Ranch in Arizona, a place well known to Travis. This ranch is famous for having one of the biggest collections of petroglyphs or rock carvings in the United States, and maybe even the world. Located in northern Arizona, Rock Art Ranch is home to thousands of these ancient Native American carvings. These petroglyphs were made by indigenous peoples who lived in the area for over 13,000 years, using these carvings to record their daily and spiritual lives. Over the past 5 years, the team at Skinwalker has been studying the petroglyphs on their ranch. They are especially interested in the curved designs, which look like serpents or snakes. These creatures were seen as guardians between different worlds. Veteran Navajo Ranger John Dover has also looked at the petroglyphs around Skinwalker Ranch, focusing on spiral designs that are often thought to represent portals. This same spiral symbol can be found in an ancient stone circle on top of the mesa at Skinwalker Ranch. Andy and Paul plan to join John Dover for a detailed study at Rock Art Ranch, which is one of the largest petroglyph sites in the country. They want to learn more about the phenomena related to these ancient carvings. Paul is thrilled to be back in northern Arizona, near the edge of Navajo Nation. The vast landscape makes it feel very isolated and well-preserved, far from any signs of modern life. Andy thinks about the ancient peoples who lived here long ago, building communities and recording their stories through these carvings. But this wasn't the most surprising part. The site's importance is clear from the thousands of petroglyphs already found, and there might be many more waiting to be discovered. This is different from Skinwalker Ranch, which has fewer petroglyphs. Rock Art Ranch holds a wealth of information and stories that are just starting to be uncovered. Their research at Skinwalker Ranch hinted at the possibility of otherworldly phenomena. This raises the question, could similar unusual activities be happening around the petroglyphs at Rock Art Ranch? Paul was bursting with excitement as the group prepared for an adventurous day ahead. Seeing John in the distance, Andy shouted to catch his attention. John walked over, and their warm, familiar greetings echoed their strong bonds. They caught up quickly, exchanging cheerful hellos and updates, reflecting their deep friendship. John had a thrilling plan for the day. He shared that they were going to explore ancient carvings at a mysterious location known as Skinwalker Ranch. Intrigued, he asked the group for their thoughts on the significance of these carvings. The group's excitement was palpable. Paul pointed out that they were about to see familiar symbols, but on a much grander scale than ever before. John noted that while Skinwalker Ranch had only a few carvings, their new destination promised to be far more spectacular. John wondered aloud if any formal studies had been done at these sites before. Up to this point, there had been no significant research, making their venture the first to employ scientific tools in this uncharted area. Andy was exhilarated at the prospect of being pioneers in this new frontier. The real adventure began as Andy, Paul, John, and another colleague, Art, ventured deeper into the canyon. They were about to participate in an ancient ceremony near walls adorned with petroglyphs, hoping to uncover valuable insights. Art assumed the role of a medicine man and started the ceremony with sacred prayers, aiming to open a mystical portal. The atmosphere was thick with history, and they felt a deep connection to the ancestors who had once inhabited this land. As they explored further, they observed numerous spirals etched into the rocks, symbols they recognized but had never seen in such abundance. Andy pointed out the prevalence of these spirals, noting they appeared on multiple surfaces throughout this area. They also discussed their plans for a nighttime experiment. Paul and Art explained that the ceremony would aim to focus and intensify energy at this particular site. Art was keen to channel as much energy as possible into their surroundings. They prepared meticulously for the experiment, setting up a range of equipment, FLIR cameras to capture thermal images, UFODAPs to detect unusual aerial phenomena, a satellite tracker, and a spectrum analyzer to gather a broad spectrum of data. As darkness enveloped the canyon, Andy and Paul noted the unexpected warmth emanating from the canyon walls. Some parts felt unusually hot, especially near the ancient carvings, suggesting a remarkable, possibly otherworldly connection. They believed there was much more to discover if they could only unravel the mystery. When they activated an instrument, strange beeps resonated through the air. Andy spotted an anomaly on the screen's upper left corner and pointed it out to Paul. Although it appeared suddenly and remained static, they scrutinized the footage closely. For 2 seconds, nothing happened. Then abruptly, something emerged from the void. This mysterious movement coincided with Art completing part of his ceremony. Art joined them, sharing that he had heard voices from deeper in the canyon, along with the sound of rocks being disturbed, as if something large was moving through. Paul had not heard these sounds, which seemed very localized, adding to the enigma. The strange movements on their screen, changing direction and speed unpredictably, continued to mystify them. With nothing on the FAA tracker, they concluded it was a UAP, something entirely unidentified. John confirmed the object's sudden changes in direction. They had devices positioned both on a cliff edge and down in the valley with them. All the activity they recorded was localized to the canyon, enhancing the mystery as the sightings persisted since their arrival at base camp. Andy noted that the phenomenon seemed to center around Art, who had requested a sign during his ceremony. It appeared they had manifested something truly extraordinary. Impressed by the collected evidence, Andy considered the night a resounding success on many levels. Their excitement intensified as they reviewed the footage and discussed the night's findings. The heat signatures, unexplained movements, and localized sounds all pointed to something beyond their current understanding. The spirals in the petroglyphs seemed crucial, hinting at a deeper connection to the phenomena they witnessed. As their investigation progressed, the group was gripped by a sense of being on the brink of a major discovery. The combination of heat signatures, strange movements, and ancient etchings created an atmosphere charged with anticipation and curiosity. Each new piece of evidence they gathered fueled their wonder, driving them to delve deeper and unravel the mysteries hidden within the canyon. Could this phenomenon be something otherworldly? Or is there a scientific explanation we're missing? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, like and subscribe for more.